Good evening, weary traveler, and welcome once more to a journey through the quiet corridors of history. As the day's last light fades and the world outside begins its nightly hush, we invite you to settle deeply into your comfort, to let your thoughts gently unwind, and to prepare your mind for a voyage into a time long past. Tonight, we will leave behind the hurried pace of modern existence and turn our gaze towards a world where time moved with a different rhythm, a world governed by devotion, discipline, and profound silence. We are stepping back into the heart of the European Middle Ages, not to witness battles or grand but to explore the serene, yet deeply structured, daily life within a medieval monastery. Imagine a place of ancient stone, where the echoes of footsteps are hushed, and the very air seems to carry the weight of centuries of prayer and quiet labor. A place where the sun's journey across the sky marked not just the passage of hours, but the cadence of an entire way of life. This is a story of routines, of dedication, of quiet perseverance, and of knowledge carefully preserved within walls that have stood for 1,000 years. We will immerse ourselves in the simple, repetitive, yet deeply meaningful existence of those who chose to withdraw from the world, seeking a different kind of purpose. Let the gentle hum of ancient hymns, the rustle of robes, and the distant sound of a bell marking the hours guide your thoughts. So, breathe deeply, feel the soft weight of your blankets, and allow your mind to drift as we begin our tranquil exploration of a forgotten age. To truly understand the profound, almost timeless rhythm of a medieval monastery, we must first allow ourselves to fully immerse, to genuinely imagine ourselves awakening, slowly, gently, within its ancient hallowed walls. Picture yourself, for a quiet, contemplative moment, nestled in a small, intensely private cell. This chamber, your personal sanctuary, is unadorned, stripped purposefully of all unnecessary ornamentation. Every surface, every angle, designed for contemplation, for an inward focus, rather than any outward, material comfort. The very air that surrounds you here is cool, perhaps carrying a distinct, subtle dampness that seems to permeate the very stone itself, a sensation that settles softly upon your skin. It holds a faint, lingering aroma, a complex, almost ancient blend of lime mortar from the centuries-old construction, the faint, sweet trace of beeswax from lamps that were lit many hours ago, their flames long since extinguished, and perhaps even the subtle, earthy tang of the surrounding soil, a constant, gentle reminder of the monastery's deep, inherent connection to the living, breathing land just beyond its boundaries. There is no jarring, abrupt alarm clock here, no sudden, shocking jolt into wakefulness that so often accompanies the frantic start of a modern day. Instead, your deep slumber is gently, almost imperceptibly, stirred by a familiar yet always solemn sound, the distant yet deeply resonant peal of the monastery bell. This, you know, is the solemn call to matins, the very first earliest service of the monastic day, its ancient, deep voice sounding its timeless summons long before the first hesitant pale rays of the sun even consider gracing the distant eastern horizon. You would slowly, deliberately begin to stir, to rise from your simple cot, a bed crafted not for luxury but for utility and humility. Perhaps a mere frame of rough hewn wood supporting a mattress filled with straw or a thin pad of coarse wool. The act of rising itself is a quiet, mindful exercise. Your feet, perhaps a little stiff from the night's pervasive chill, would softly, gently meet the cold, smooth flagstones, or the packed earth floor that makes up your humble, private cell. The entire process of preparing for the day is never rushed. It is, instead, one of quiet, deeply ingrained ritual. Your rough, undyed wool habit, a garment heavy and unyielding in its texture, designed meticulously for uniformity, for modesty, and for practicality rather than any true softness or personal flair, is donned slowly in the lingering dimness of the cell. Each movement is a deliberate, practiced gesture, a conscious, mindful step into the disciplined, structured life that lies ahead. The profound, almost tangible silence of the night still hangs heavily in the air, a blanket of stillness, broken only by the gentle, even sound of your own soft breathing, and perhaps the faint, hushed rustle of your robes as you slowly, carefully make your way towards the simple wooden door of your cell, leaving its quiet confines behind for the communal spaces. Imagine yourself stepping out now, slowly, carefully, into the cloister. This is the covered, arcaded walkway that gracefully surrounds the central courtyard of the monastery, often a quadrangle of vibrant green grass or meticulously paved stone, opened gracefully to the vast, silent sky above. The pre-dawn darkness outside is still absolute, a deep, pervasive blanket of indigo, rendering all distant shapes indistinct, save for the faint, flickering glow of a few tallow candles or small oil lamps. held gently by other monks. Their faces, visible only as fleeting, dancing shadows in the soft, wavering light, appear placid, serene, unburdened by haste or worldly concerns. There is no idle chatter here, no hurried greetings exchanged, no casual conversation. The ancient rule of Saint Benedict, the very guiding principle of Benedictine monastic life, places a profound, uncompromising emphasis on silence, a sacred stillness, especially during these early, deeply spiritual hours. It is a silence not of emptiness or awkwardness, but a living silence, brimming with reverence, a sacred, expansive space for quiet, uninterrupted inner reflection, allowing the mind to clear and focus before the more active, yet still measured, demands of the day slowly, steadily begin to make their presence felt. Your soft, deliberate footsteps echo gently, rhythmically, on the cold, smooth flagstones as you join the slow, measured, almost processional movement towards the church, the very heart, the spiritual core, of the monastery complex. The air within the church itself is noticeably colder, still carrying with it the distinct, comforting scent of old, well-worn wood from ancient pews and altars infused delicately with the faintest, almost ethereal whiff of lingering incense from the previous evening's solemn service. The pews, crafted from solid, unyielding timber, are hard and unyielding beneath you, designed for posture and humility rather than cushioned comfort. Here, for what can feel like an eternity in the deep pred-on chill, you would stand or kneel, your body gradually becoming accustomed to the profound stillness, the motionless waiting. You would join in chanting Latin psalms and prayers, many of them committed deeply to memory over years of diligent repetition, their ancient words flowing effortlessly. The voices of the monks around you, deep, resonant, and unwavering, blend into a low, continuous hum, a single, flowing wave of sound that seems to vibrate through the very stone of the ancient building. It is a calming, almost hypnotic drone, a sound that seems to penetrate deep into the very bone, settling the mind, quieting the restless thoughts. The sacred words themselves, repeated day after day, year after year, slowly transcend their individual meaning, transforming instead into a rhythmic, meditative flow, a steady current. The long hours that stretched between these structured prayer services were dedicated entirely to labor, often manual, always purposeful, and meticulously organized according to the rule. If you were an outdoor monk, known as a lay brother or conversus, your destination would be the monasteries, sprawling fields, vineyards, or pastures. Imagine the damp, cool earth clinging softly to your simple leather boots as you walked through dukest grass, each blade glistening faintly in the emerging, soft light of morning. The air would be fresh, crisp, carrying the clean scent of soil and growing things. The work here is inherently repetitive, deeply physical, and beautifully unhurried, dictated by the slow, natural cycles of the seasons. Perhaps you are guiding a heavy wooden plow, its ancient timbers groaning and creaking softly as it is drawn by slow, powerful oxen, their breath misting faintly in the cool morning air. The rich, dark earth turns over in long, perfect furrows, one after another, a slow, methodical unveiling of the land's bounty, preparing it for new life. The rhythmic creak of the plow, a constant, predictable sound, the soft snorting of the animals as they pull, the distant, gentle call of a bird in the trees, perhaps a lark ascending, these are the dominant, soothing sounds of your morning, forming a steady, predictable symphony that quietly soothes the mind. Or perhaps you are tending to the monastery's flock of sheep, their woolly forms moving slowly, deliberately across a misty pasture, their soft bleating the only sound punctuated by the occasional gentle tinkle of a tiny bell around the leading away. Neck guiding the flock in the quiet expanse. The diet, too, reflects this simple, deeply repetitive life, deliberately chosen for humility, sustenance, and spiritual discipline, rather than any form of indulgence. Meals were always taken in the refectory, a long high-ceilinged hall, its stone walls echoing with silence, and typically consumed in absolute, profound silence. During the meal, a designated monk would read aloud from scripture or a theological text, their voice a steady, monotonous drone, serving as a quiet, calming backdrop to the soft, rhythmic scraping of wooden bowls against stone tables. Meat was often strictly forbidden, especially during the numerous fasting periods that punctuated the monastic year, which could last for weeks. So your meals would consist primarily of coarse, hearty bread, perhaps a thick gruel made from grains grown in the monastery's own fields, simple vegetables cultivated with quiet care in the monastery garden, Perhaps a piece of local cheese and a weak ale or pure cold water. Imagine the simple, earthy taste, the rough, satisfying texture of the bread in your hands, eaten slowly, mindfully, without the distractions of idle conversation or worldly chatter. Every bite, every sip, becomes an integral part of the disciplined routine, a small yet profound act of quiet humility and gratitude. For the indoor monks, those whose duties lay within the monastic buildings themselves, the work might be different in its nature, but no less repetitive, no less demanding of quiet, unwavering focus. Many hours of the day, often for 12 or more, were spent in the scriptorium, a quiet room specifically dedicated to the arduous and meticulous task of copying manuscripts. Picture yourself seated at a simple wooden desk or carrel, a small private cubicle designed for solitary work. The gentle, diffused light from a nearby window, often placed high to avoid direct glare, illuminates the smooth vellum sheet resting before you. Your hand moves slowly, with immense care and meticulous precision, a finely sharpened quill pen scratching softly, rhythmically, almost hypnotically, across the prepared animal skin. Each individual letter, each precise word, is formed with painstaking care, a testament to endless, enduring patience and a deep reverence for the written word. There are no sudden, jarring movements here, no quick, distracted glances. The only sounds that fill this hallowed, hushed space are the soft, almost imperceptible rustle of pages as they are turned, the gentle, having deeply immersed ourselves, in the quiet, methodical, and profoundly repetitive duties of the ordinary monk, their days shaped by the slow, predictable tolling of the bell, and the constant rhythm of prayer and humble labor. Let us now, gently shift our focus to a singular, extraordinary voice that somehow managed to emerge with remarkable clarity from within the very heart of that deep monastic silence. We speak now of the truly remarkable and remarkably gentle figure of Hildegard von Bingen. She was born in the year 1098, nestled within the verdant rolling landscapes of what is now known as Germany, a land of ancient forests and quiet rivers. Hildegard's journey into the cloister, into a life consecrated to God, began at an astonishingly young age, a common, yet still poignant, practice for daughters of noble families. During that distant era, at merely 8 years old, a tender age for any child, she was carefully given into the quiet, watchful care of an anchoress named Jutta, a woman who had chosen a solitary, contemplative life, walled within a small cell adjoining the monastery. It was Jutta's solemn responsibility to educate Hildegard, to nurture her spirit, and to meticulously prepare her, for the demanding, yet deeply rewarding, life, dedicated entirely to God, within the serene, ancient confines of a Benedictine monastery at Dizerbodenberg. Imagine, for a long moment, the early formative years, for young Hildegard. Within those quiet, imposing walls, the predominant sounds she would have known, would have been the soft, almost imperceptible rustle of woolen robes as figures moved through hushed corridors, the low, continuous murmur of prayers, repeated endlessly in ancient Latin, the gentle, almost rhythmic turning of thick parchment pages in the quiet study areas, and the ever-present, soft, steady rhythm of monastic life itself, a life governed by fixed hours and unbroken routine. There were no loud, boisterous toys in this world, no exuberant, playful games that children of her age in the secular world might have enjoyed. Instead, her days were filled with a structured calm of rigorous study, the careful memorization of sacred texts, the quiet cultivation of piety, and deep, introspective contemplation. It was precisely within this environment of profound, pervasive stillness, this sacred quietude, that Hildegard slowly began to experience what she meticulously described, as visions. These were not fleeting dreams, or sudden, startling flashes of light, but rather an intense, pervasive, inner illumination, a light that seemed to emanate directly from within her soul, always accompanied by a clear internal voice, a profound spiritual understanding, that spoke to her, not in audible words, heard by the ear, but in a deep, intuitive knowing, illuminating sacred texts, revealing complex theological truths, and unveiling hidden mystical insights. For many, many years, for decades in fact, she kept these extraordinary experiences largely to herself, a deeply private world, contained entirely within the disciplined framework of her daily quiet monastic routine. It was a secret she held close, a burden and a gift, that shaped her inner landscape. It was not until she had reached her 40s a mature age for the time, after much internal struggle, and with considerable apprehension and only then, under the quiet, steady guidance of her compassionate confessor, Volmar that she finally began the painstaking and often arduous process of transcribing these profound visions into written form. Imagine, for a moment, the slow the deliberate, the almost agonizing effort of putting into words something so abstract, so deeply spiritual, so entirely ethereal, and yet to her so vividly undeniably real. This was not a burst of sudden, frenzied inspiration, but a patient almost meditative act. Applications for healing and well-being. Imagine her walking slowly mindfully through the monastery's tranquil herb garden. Perhaps at dawn, with the dew still clinging to the leaves, she would pause perhaps touching a particular leaf, inhaling a specific scent, carefully observing the gentle unfolding of a flower, or the subtle changes in a plant's form throughout the seasons. She would then return to her quiet writing desk, to patiently meticulously record her observations, their growth patterns, their unique characteristics, and their subtle medicinal properties. This was a true form of empirical study, a gentle yet rigorous scientific approach, undertaken long before the formal scientific method, as we know it today, even existed, driven solely by quiet curiosity, a deep reverence for creation, and an unwavering desire, to understand, the intricate, divine workings of the natural world, all for the benefit of healing and comfort. Her profound influence slowly, gently, yet inexorably, began to spread, far beyond the secluded monastery walls. Popes, emperors, and powerful kings, from across the vast medieval landscape, sought her quiet counsel, dispatched messengers to her secluded abbey, not because of her worldly power, for she held none directly, but solely because of the profound wisdom, the unshakable clarity, and the sheer spiritual authority of her inner insights, which she delivered with calm, unwavering authority, from within, her disciplined, secluded life. Despite her reclusive existence, she even embarked on several quiet preaching tours, traveling, not in a display of grandeur, or public spectacle, but as a humble nun, accompanied only by a few companions, delivering powerful messages of moral reform, and spiritual renewal to communities far and wide. Her voice, though physically quiet, and coming from a woman in a male-dominated era, carried immense weight and commanded deep respect, a testament to the power of truth and calm conviction. Hildegard von Bingen's truly extraordinary life was a profound testament to the immense, often unseen, power that can quietly emerge from deep, unwavering dedication, from an unshakable inner focus, and from a life lived in conscious connection to the spiritual realm. Her world was one defined by strict routine, by silent contemplation, and by constant spiritual discipline, yet from it she wove a rich, intricate tapestry, of sublime music, of profound knowledge, and of gentle spiritual guidance, that continues, to softly touch, and to quietly inspire countless souls. To this very day, she lived deep within the profound silence of the medieval monastery, yet her voice, a voice of calm wisdom, of quiet healing, and of gentle beauty, echoed, and continues to echo, across centuries, a quiet, persistent melody, in the grand ancient symphony, of human history. Let her quiet perseverance, and profound wisdom guide your thoughts, gently, towards stillness and peace, having deeply reflected, on the profound insights and the gentle, yet powerful, influence of a visionary spirit, like Hildegard von Bingen, whose inner light shone so brightly, from within the monastic silence. Let us now, slowly, and mindfully, turn our attention to another equally vital, yet often overlooked, and profoundly tranquil aspect of daily monastic life: the carefully cultivated, monastery herb garden. These gardens were far, far more than mere plots of land designed for simple cultivation. They were, in essence, live living libraries, breathing pharmacies, and constant, reliable sources of essential sustenance all meticulously cultivated and managed with an almost sacred quiet devotion. Many if not most medieval monasteries were fortunate enough to possess extensive sprawling gardens, their precise, ordered layouts, and the astonishing variety of plants they contained, standing as a quiet, living testament to centuries of accumulated patiently gathered and carefully transmitted knowledge. Imagine yourself for a long, quiet moment, perched gently above the monastery, taking in an aerial view of the entire complex, beyond the solemn cloister, beyond the imposing ancient main buildings that form the heart of the abbey. You would inevitably see a serene expanse of carefully laid out beds, perhaps arranged in intricate patterns, or simple, functional rows. These beds might be walled with low, ancient stone, or perhaps demarcated by neat borders of woven wattle or living willow, small, often meandering paths, constructed of compacted earth, or fine gravel, or even simple flat stone, pavers, would wind gently between them, inviting slow, unhurried exploration. The air here, in the garden, would carry a distinctly different bouquet than the cooler, more muted scents within the stone structures. It would be a complex, rich blend of fresh, earthy soil, still damp from the morning dew, the crisp aroma of countless green leaves, and the pungent, or sweet, or perhaps subtly acrid aromas of the myriad medicinal and culinary herbs growing in quiet abundance. It was a sensory world, vibrant with understated life, a tapestry of greens and subtle hues yet managed with an underlying pervasive quiet discipline that allowed no chaos only ordered, living tranquility. Archaeological discoveries of these lost, forgotten gardens offer us a truly unique an incredibly precious window into this quiet, industrious world. Often what remains visible today to the casual, untrained eye are merely subtle depressions in the undulating earth, faint, almost imperceptible traces of ancient stone foundations that once supported walls or raised beds or perhaps the barely discernible outlines of ancient irrigation channels, long since reclaimed and softened by the slow, persistent hand of nature, yet with careful patient and incredibly meticulous excavation archaeologists those quiet detectives of the past can slowly painstakingly begin to piece together the faded blueprint, the intricate design of these forgotten living spaces. They gently uncover the subtle outlines of what were once clearly defined raised beds, the lingering remnants of ancient trodden pathways and sometimes quite remarkably, even the fossilized pollen grains or microscopic plant remains that offer tantalizing, silent hints at what verdant life once grew there centuries ago. This is truly an archaeology of silence where the most subtle clues, the smallest whispers from the earth slowly, patiently reveal tales of past cultivation and centuries of daily, gentle care within the tranquil borders of these monastery gardens. Every single plant had a specific and often multiple sacred purpose. There were, of course, the essential culinary herbs providing vital flavor and nourishing sustenance for the often simple yet wholesome monastic diet. Imagine the delicate leaves of thyme, the earthy aroma of sage, the resinous scent of rosemary or the fresh, green notes of parsley, all growing in ordered rows. Picture the slow, repetitive task of harvesting these herbs, your fingers gently brushing against their leaves, releasing their aromatic oils as they were carefully plucked, leaf by leaf, destined for the quiet preparation of the refectory meals. A simple blessing from the earth. Then there were the dying plants, those botanical alchemists used to impart rich, natural colors to the monastery's hand-woven textiles. Or to create the vibrant pigments used to illuminate precious manuscripts, a task of profound artistry and precision. Their vibrant pigments were extracted through a painstaking an often lengthy process of boiling crushing and filtering a testament to the monk's dedication to both utility and beauty. But perhaps most importantly, and most profoundly, these gardens served as the monastic apothecaries living, breathing dispensaries of the natural world. Monasteries, during the Middle Ages, were often at the very forefront of medical knowledge and healing practices. Long before formal hospitals or public medical schools were widespread, the infirmary, or infirmarium, a dedicated space for the sick, and the ailing, was a crucial, compassionate part of every monastic community, and its efficacy, its ability to soothe and heal, relied heavily, on the very plants, grown just steps away. In the quiet, living pharmacy of the garden, imagine, a monk or a nun, skilled in the quiet art of healing, moving slowly, thoughtfully, among the meticulously arranged beds, their gaze sharp, their knowledge profound, carefully identifying each specific plant, digitalis for heart ailments, its bell-shaped flowers gently swaying, chamomile, for calming troubled spirits, its tiny, daisy-like blossoms offering solace, valerian, for inducing peaceful sleep, its unassuming leaves concealing potent properties, comfrey, for mending bones, its broad leaves offering a balm. Each plant, each unassuming green form, held a specific, almost sacred, and deeply understood power, a silent promise of healing. The vast knowledge of these countless plants, their properties, their preparation, was not learned from hurried lectures, or from quick, superficial readings. It was transmitted, patiently, slowly, gently, from elder to novice, through direct, prolonged observation, and quiet, dedicated practice. Imagine a younger monk, being shown, by an older, more experienced brother, how to identify a specific root, by its unique shape, its subtle texture, how to recognize a particular leaf not just by sight, but by its specific vein pattern, or its scent, how to gauge the correct, precise time for harvest, by the sun's exact position in the sky, or the subtle dew on the leaves. This quiet, unbroken apprenticeship, fostered a deep, abiding respect for the intricate tapestry of the natural world, and a profound, intuitive understanding of its gentle, yet powerful, healing properties. The rhythmic grinding, of dried herbs in a heavy stone mortar, the gentle, soft, simmering of a medicinal broth, over a low, controlled fire, the careful, slow application of a warm, soothing poultice, These were the quiet, constant sounds, and the gentle, calming sights of monastic healthcare, a daily dance of quiet care, to remove competing plants, precise watering, to nourish new growth, careful pruning, to shape and guide. It was a slow, deeply meditative process, connecting the monks, directly to the unchanging cycles, of nature, to the predictable bounty of the earth. In an age, where life outside their walls was often turbulent, unpredictable, and fraught with chaos, the monastery garden offered a haven of ordered tranquility, a serene sanctuary. It was a microcosm of peace, a place where time moved, not with the frantic pace of human affairs, but at the gentle, deliberate speed of natural growth, where the greatest drama, was the slow, graceful unfurling of a new leaf, or the gentle, patient ripening of a berry, under the watchful eye of the sun. These lost gardens, now mostly invisible to the casual modern eye, their living forms long since returned to the earth, speak volumes, through their silent remains, about the profound dedication, the deep wisdom, and the quiet, persistent labor of the monastic communities that once lovingly tended them. They serve as a powerful, yet gentle reminder that profound knowledge and deep, compassionate healing can truly flourish, even in the most serene and unassuming of places, within the very heart of quiet contemplation, where patience is not just a virtue, but a guiding principle, and where silence is not an absence of sound, but a key, to a deeper, more profound, understanding of the world, and its gentle mysteries. Let the quiet growth of these ancient plants guide you now, gently, towards your own peaceful and restorative, sleep. From the vibrant, living symphony of the herb garden, its quiet growth tended with such meticulous diligence, and its healing bounty patiently gathered, let us now, slowly, and with a profound sense of reverence, turn our attention to another equally vital, yet fundamentally and profoundly silent space within the very heart of the monastery walls, the scriptorium. This was not merely a room, it was, in essence, the intellectual and artistic heart, the very soul, of the monastic community, a sacred place, dedicated entirely to the painstaking preservation and the slow, deliberate creation, of precious books. It was a monumental task, demanding immense, unending patience, and truly meticulous precision, a quiet, continuous act of safeguarding knowledge, across centuries. Imagine, for a long contemplative moment, gently stepping into this hallowed chamber. The air here, might feel distinctly cooler, perhaps even crisper, than in other parts of the monastery, possibly carrying a faint, subtle scent, a unique blend of aged parchment, of rich, dark ink, and of old, polished wood. The lighting within the scriptorium was absolutely crucial for the delicate work performed within, yet it was often surprisingly sparse, a precious commodity. Large windows, typically tall and narrow, perhaps facing thoughtfully towards the north, to avoid the harsh glare of direct sunlight, would allow a gentle, diffused natural light to filter softly in, illuminating the individual workspaces with a quiet, steady glow. In the colder months, the chill could be pervasive, bone deep. A central fireplace might, if the monastery was prosperous enough, offer a gentle, radiating warmth, but often, the scribes worked for long hours, in surprisingly chill conditions, their fingers perhaps stiffening, with the cold, their breath occasionally visible as faint puffs of vapor in the cool air. It was a testament to their unwavering dedication, that they endured these physical discomforts for the sake of their sacred task. Each individual scribe would occupy a simple yet sturdy wooden desk, often referred to as a carrel. These were frequently angled, sometimes with a sloping top, specifically designed to allow the best possible light to fall precisely upon their work, minimizing shadows. And I strain this entire pursuit. The copying of texts, was a profoundly solitary endeavor, demanding absolute, unwavering concentration. The materials themselves, the very essence of the book, were a testament to an even earlier, laborious preparation. The pages were not made of paper, which, during most of the medieval period, was still a rare and expensive commodity in Europe. Instead, they were crafted, from vellum or parchment, meticulously prepared animal skins, typically from calves, goats, or sheep. Imagine the incredibly detailed process. The skins would be soaked in lime baths, stretched tautly, on wooden frames, meticulously scraped, with a curved knife, to remove all traces of hair and flesh, then painstakingly smoothed, with pumice stone, until they were thin, flexible, and offered a perfect, almost luminous surface, incredibly receptive to ink. Imagine the cool, smooth, almost silken feel of a freshly prepared sheet, lying before you, ready to receive the delicate strokes of a finely crafted pen. The ink itself was often a local production, made right within the monastery walls, a slow, artisanal process, passed down through generations. Picture the careful grinding of natural pigments, a deep, rich black often derived from soot, or the intricate preparation of iron gall ink, made from oak galls and iron salts, yielding a dark, lasting hue. Reds might come from cinnabar or ground insects, blues from precious lapis lazuli, or woad, each color meticulously prepared and mixed with binders, like egg yolk or gum arabic, to create a stable, flowing liquid. The quills, the very instruments of their craft, were typically made from the strong, pliable feathers of geese, sometimes swans. These raw feathers would be painstakingly trimmed, and sharpened, to an incredibly fine, precise point, often with a small penknife, a continuous task of maintenance throughout the day. Picture the scribe carefully, deliberately, dipping the very tip of the prepared quill into the small inkwell, a moment of quiet, focused anticipation, before putting pen to page. Beginning the slow dance of creation, the very act of copying was never a hurried dash, never a race against time. It was instead a profoundly meditative process, a deep, almost spiritual immersion in the text itself. Before any actual writing began, the scribe would meticulously painstakingly rule lines on each page. This involved pricking tiny holes along the edges of the parchment, using a sharp awl, then connecting these prick marks with a lead stylus or a bone folder, ensuring perfectly straight, consistent lines for the text to follow, and uniform margins, a testament to their unwavering commitment to order and precision. Then, slowly, word by word, letter by agonizingly precise letter, the chosen text would be transferred. Imagine the rhythmic, almost hypnotic scratching of the quill against the vellum, a constant, gentle sound that filled the scriptorium. A quiet, persistent hum, a testament to steady, unyielding progress. Every single stroke, every delicate flourish, required intense, unwavering focus. For a single misplaced error, a moment of inattention, could potentially ruin an entire page, sometimes an entire section, requiring laborious correction, or even the soul-crushing task of starting anew. This was absolutely not a task for the impetuous, or for the impassioned. It demanded the purest form of sustained, quiet endurance. Some books, especially those intended for solemn religious services for a high altar, or for wealthy, discerning patrons, would be adorned with breathtakingly beautiful and intricate illuminations. This was a further layer of meticulous artistic work, often performed by a separate, specialized individual within the scriptorium, known as an illuminator. Imagine the painstaking application of vibrant, pure colors, the shimmering gold leaf, applied with utmost care, glowing against deep blues and rich reds, used to create intricate borders, delicate miniature scenes, and ornate, highly decorative initial letters that marked the beginning of chapters or sections. This was art, born from infinite patience, from profound devotion, and from an astonishing mastery of craft, each tiny detail, each subtle brushstroke, carefully rendered to elevate the sacred text, transforming it into a visual masterpiece, a silent sermon in itself. The slow process of applying each layer of color, waiting for it to dry, and then carefully burnishing the gold, created an almost magical transformation. On the page, the sheer duration of this kind of work was immense, almost beyond modern comprehension. A single large book, perhaps a complete Bible, a collection of theological treatises, or a volume of classical philosophy, could take a dedicated scribe many, many months, even several years, of steady daily labor to bring to completion. Imagine the quiet, deep satisfaction, the profound sense of accomplishment, as one chapter slowly, painstakingly gave way to the next then one entire book to another, until finally a monumental volume, heavy with centuries of wisdom, was complete its thick, precious pages, carefully bound, between thick wooden boards often covered in intricately worked leather, a true treasure, the silent, unwavering labor of the scribes and the illuminators in the scriptorium was a monumental an absolutely invaluable contribution to the entirety of human history. In an era long before the revolutionary advent of the printing press, monasteries, serving as quiet beacons of learning, were the primary guardians, the sole preservers, of knowledge itself. They meticulously copied and therefore preserved not only sacred religious texts, but also the vast, invaluable canon of classical Greek and Roman literature, early scientific writings, ancient medical treatises, and vital historical records. Without their quiet, unyielding dedication, their endless hours of precise, repetitive work, much of the profound wisdom, and the rich literature, of antiquity would have been irretrievably lost to time, forever vanished. So, as we gently bring our tranquil journey through the medieval monastery to a quiet close, we are left with a powerful, and profoundly comforting image of quiet perseverance, of endless dedication, and of deep, abiding peace. From the repetitive rhythmic prayers, in the pre-dawn darkness, to the silent, physical labor, in the sprawling fields, from the visionary insights of a contemplative nun, whose inner light guided her quill, to the meticulous, rhythmic scratching, of a scribe's patient pen, in the hushed scriptorium, the monastic life was a complete symphony of quiet devotion, a steady, unwavering rhythm that offered both profound personal challenges and an even more profound sense of inner peace. It was a world where time itself was cherished, understood, and marked with purpose, where meaning was found in every quiet task, in every deliberate action, and where the gentle, predictable cadence of daily life led not to fleeting excitement or worldly triumph, but to a deep, abiding sense of calm, and ultimate spiritual fulfillment. And perhaps, as we slowly reflect on this quiet ancient existence, you too can find a similar stillness within the quiet chambers, of your own mind, as you drift, gently, peacefully, towards a deep and truly dream-filled sleep.